All right, good afternoon, class. Welcome back to my channel. Um, have you been posting content? Have you been feeling like your content hasn't been getting a lot of traction, a lot of views? Have you been feeling like you in small content creator hell? So have I. All right, but we're gonna learn how to solve that problem together. That sound like something you interested in? Hey guys, hey, come on in. All right, class, welcome back. We locked in. This is a video from Nate Black. He gonna show us how to get out of small channel hell forever. Shout out to Nate Black. It's a great video. We gonna get into it. We gonna watch it together, guys. Let's get into
Simply
it.
isn't the
Let's
same
make sure
for
we
small
taking
channels
notes.
as it is for larger channels. In fact, let's play a game. Howdy everyone, Nate here. In the small channel game on YouTube, there are two places that we could be. We can either be hidden
man Nate
and
came to play.
struggling
He got-
forever and ever and ever, or
Nate
we
got
can
cars.
be visible and do specific things to get out of that hidden
Hey,
place.
I like Nate. Nate
forever.
pulled
You
out the
see,
index
as I've
cards,
been
man.
recently working with
might have
hundreds
to
of
take that
YouTube
from you,
creators,
I ain't gonna lie.
one-on-one, having access to the analytics of the channel itself, a few things have started to become very clear to me. Number one is that small channels have different rules. They don't perform the same as larger channels. And in fact, I'm gonna give you some examples of how the rules are different for smaller channels. On this channel that you're watching right now, when I upload a 4K video, a high resolution video, which all of my videos are, it takes about 2 minutes for that video to process before it is essentially ready to publish right then. Now contrast that with a client's channel that is significantly smaller. When we upload a video to that channel, same thing, 4K resolution, similar length of video, it takes at least an hour to 2 hours to process. Another example, and this comes from multiple clients' channel. I have seen the behavior over
Facts,
of
bro.
publishing
It
a
be
video,
taking me
having
so
a spike,
long to
and then a
upload
flat line,
videos to
meaning that
YouTube.
the
It really
algorithm
don't make no
decides
sense.
to
I don't know
test that
why.
video and then stop giving impressions to that video for a period. And sometimes that pattern will repeat. You'll have a test period, a flat, and then another test period, and then another flat. And I could go on and on with how the rules are different for smaller channels. And in fact, I am going to give more examples throughout this video. The important thing here is we are not mongering. Is that the right word? We're not complaining here. Because as far as I can tell, with the examples I gave, the faster processing time on my channel versus a smaller channel, it makes sense that if a channel has more data to work with and more audience to prove their stuff with, then they'll give more allocation of resources to that channel versus a brand new or a smaller channel. It also does make sense, and this may be slightly controversial here, it makes sense that if there's a limited amount of impressions to give to all of the YouTube users on the YouTube platform, they would give slight priority to larger channels. If for no other reason, then again, the larger channels have more proven content. They have a backlog of videos that are showing that they're more successful with their audience. And so I'm seeing this impressions then flatline behavior being a testing period behavior, which I'll explain a bit more of that later on. So if smaller channels have different rules than larger channels because of the various reasons I've listed and many more that I couldn't fit into this video, what do we do about it? We make it so that your channel cannot be ignored. We make it so that your content is the best content that it can be. And we make it so that you as a creator of that content are no longer hiding. You're choosing to be radical. You're choosing to stand out and face fears and do things differently, which will lead to this. Visibility. All right, so how do we combat these different rules that small channels have? We do it with this: focused data. What we need to do here is give the algorithm, give the YouTube platform more data. And if you want a real human way to explain that, it's more videos. It's more content. No matter where you are with your small channel at this point, if you find ways to give
but Nate,
more videos for the algorithm to test, it's almost always a positive thing. As long as those more videos are still quality videos, as quality as you're capable of. So I hear you. We're watching this and you're thinking, Nate, I want to give more videos.
Right.
I want to do more of these things. I want to give more of this focused data to the algorithm, but I'm just booked up. I have thought long and hard on this, especially since it's something that I myself have struggled with. There is a book that I read or more listened
not
to
even
recently
that. It's just I'm not even
absolutely
getting traction at
transformed
all.
how I looked at
I'm
this.
posting on
gonna
all
put a link to the
platforms.
book in the
No
pinned comment if you want
traction.
to get it for absolutely free. But in that book, it describes the concept of dropping everything else.
I'm definitely gonna get that
Intentionally,
book.
just dropping everything else that doesn't give you the focus that you want. And it gives really viable strategies for how to do that, how to allocate your time in order to do that well. So what I'm suggesting here is if you feel like you are in small channel heck, I do that for the algorithm, then you get really decisive in cutting off the things that are not contributing to publishing more quality videos. Because the more tests that we give the algorithm, the YouTube platform, the more likely it is that you will finally get the traction enough to have that proven backlog of content. It's going to work. And if that is your goal, to get out of this small channel heck forever, drop everything else and
one thing,
class,
I really want this channel to work. That's why I'm keep giving you guys these videos
on this video. How did that get in here? Oh my goodness.
At the videos, so we can really get a general understanding of what other people are going through before we can get there.
Thank you for doing that. But really, here's the next
when
thing.
we get there, we will basically have a better blueprint.
Audiences literally act different
around
small channels than they do around large channels.
Shout out to Nate.
And this has much less to do with the YouTube platform itself and much more to do with human psychology, which the YouTube algorithm tends to follow. You see, for small channels, audiences act, I put strange because that was the shortest way I could say of they act differently in a lot of different ways. Like, for example, the types of people that are willing to comment on a brand new channel on a video without many or any other comments are very different than the types of people who are willing to comment on a video with lots of comments. In fact, let me give an example. Have you ever been to a farmer's market where there's a lot of people selling stuff and they got their booths set up and they've got stuff all set out on the table and they've got their price tags and they're just kind of sitting there expectantly? Have you ever been to one of those? How do you, as a person meandering around this farmer's market, behave differently in front of a booth that has a bunch of people crowded around it versus a booth with no one in front of it? In fact, you can see the person sitting behind the table at the booth and they make eye contact with you a mile away and you make eye contact with them and you're still a mile away from them and you're walking up to it. How do you act differently? There's too much pressure. It's the same thing as when you go to the mall and you walk into a clothing store and there's like 5 employees and one of you. You feel like you're going to get ganged up on. It's not a direct parallel, but there are more parallels than you might think between those two scenarios. That I just explained and smaller audience behavior. So the audience that you get are the type of audience that are okay with being early adopters. They are okay with being the only person at this booth looking at your trinkets. They have the time of day to do so, meaning they are willing to take a bit more of a chance with you versus a larger channel that has proven that they know how to make quality videos that respect people's time more. So they're willing to take a chance, but also they're often very into a niche, further into a niche than the general or broader YouTube audience. Now, the algorithm does actually treat this differently as well. They give impressions somewhat differently for a small channel audience as well. How do I know this? Well, have you ever gone really into a niche? Like you've watched an extensive amount of videos on a certain specific topic or a certain niche. You've watched a whole bunch of them in a row on YouTube. Have you ever gone back to your home feed or the home screen on your mobile or desktop and seen small channels pop up, like videos with 15 views on them? My theory here is the more an audience member shows they're deeper into a niche, the more likely the algorithm is to show smaller channels videos to that niche, which is one of the arguments for the so-called niching down, because you're more likely to appear to that niche.
I mean, I get the argument, Nate, but I haven't seen it.
Combat the audience acting differently. We do it with this. Your channel just is smaller, and that is a fact. So it's actually greatly to your advantage to acknowledge that and acknowledge that with your audience. When your audience comes to one of your videos and feels like, wow, this person is present, they're authentic, they're acknowledging where they are, and of course they're going to do great things in the future.
I am a small
so you
creator channel.
Expecting them to be there and
like, share, subscribe.
With your
I need your help.
Does huge things for you. And I've said this before, I'm going to say it again here. When you start getting comments to the tune of, wow, why isn't this channel bigger? Or comments addressing you directly saying, thank you so much for making this video. This video deserves way more views than it has. When that starts happening, that is one of the indicators that you're doing this right.
Hey, class,
the next thing that keeps your
down there in the comment section.
The next
I
thing
wouldn't be mad at you.
Channel perpetually
Make sure you like the video too, please.
You change it is this. Blind spots. I have a unique perspective here in that this is what I do, and I am interacting with
he got
creators
all
like
the
yourself,
index cards, and then they're all color-coded to his ideas or whatever you think of. This is very good. This is a very great
across the board. When I sit down with someone, this is
especially without applying text to it, because it's kind of hard to apply text to some of these videos. So going with the index cards is a great touch to kind of get your point across, where you don't have to react to everything,
exacerbated
and
in
you can make
channels because
premiere
don't
content.
have
So I do
as
like that. I
much
want to take that
data to
from
work with. We
Nate.
don't have as much
I'm
real-time
sorry,
feedback
but I might
from
have
the
to
audience
adapt that from,
because our
because I
videos
don't
are
like
more
reacting
hidden,
to every
and that
video
is
that
a
I do.
huge disadvantage
But I do need
unless
to
you're
post
able to
videos.
intentionally get outside perspective. In fact, that is
Yeah,
perhaps the number
some of
one
these guys be
thing
having
that
some
I
good
see when I'm
information.
talking with creators
So
like yourself.
I guess this is
It's
the
hard
benefit
to
of
know what to focus on or not.
reacting to
So
some
how
of
do we
these
combat
videos.
that? With this. What I am calling removing the box, or essentially getting yourself outside of yourself and your own creation bubble to see what's happening from a third-party perspective. Because answer me this, have you ever built a large YouTube channel before? If that's a no, then your being able to see it before you've done it will be a huge advantage for you. It's one of the reasons why I do my roast videos here on this channel, aside from them being all about heck, fire, and darnation. And by the way, I don't have any issues with swearing. I just intentionally don't put them in my videos because it's just not my brand. But where was I? Oh yes, roasts. It's one of the reasons why I like to show as many real examples as I can, because it allows me to put you as a viewer outside the box and deconstruct what I am seeing as a third-party perspective. So what you need to combat these blind spots is to get outside the box, to remove the box and get outside perspective, outside thought patterns. I have a video in the works about this very thing: collaborations and getting outside perspectives on what you are producing. I am going extensive with it, using real examples and real processes that I have used with great success. So I am going to put that here when it's ready. In the meantime, let's focus on this one: focused data. What are the next most important focuses we can do to give the algorithm as much of the correct data as possible? In order to do that, you'll watch.
Ooh, and he cut us off before he finished, boy. I ain't gonna lie, Nate, boy, you something different, man. Shout out to Nate, man. That was a great video, great content. I like his content. I'm gonna give him a subscribe. I like his videos. Class, if you like the videos, you can make sure you give it a subscribe, like, share, comment. Please comment, like and comment the video. I can't stress that enough. All right, but that was a great video from Nate. More in particularly the focus data. So he's trying to say basically you got to get out more content, and which we all know, right? The 12 videos per month is the baseline to what you need to have to kind of make your YouTube channel pop a little bit, right? So we all know 12 videos, but I'm thinking more. I'm thinking maybe 15. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to really kind of. Excuse me, class. It's a lot. That's a lot of videos. But I'm pretty sure if you're doing like reaction videos, shorts, and all that, it's not that hard to do. But longer form videos, definitely a lot to think about. Use ChatGPT. ChatGPT definitely helps you a lot with your videos. But that's all I got for today, class. If you guys find that great, please like, comment, subscribe on the video, and then turn off your notifications, let you know when the next one drop. Until then, man, class dismissed. Get on out of here.